Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Rashad Norzay coming to you with another evening of the Mass Daily Focus program. Mashallah, we have already with us Ustadha Maryam Amir, and I am working with Sheikh Ahmed Mabrouk. He will be on with us shortly. And just as we begin, I'll kindly have Ustad Maryam here with us, and I will switch to this presenter view, so I apologize for that. Let me do this and Bismillah, this. So first of all, alhamdulillah, April 1st, but I don't have any jokes. So if anyone has any good jokes, they can share it in the chat as we're getting set up here. And what I want to do quickly is, of course, again, we have Ustad Maryam Amir with us and Sheikh Ahmed Mabrouk. And Jazakallah khair to everyone who has been joining us early and ahead of time. And it's been now over 2 weeks. And so it's a very exciting kind of window of time. We're going into April. Of course, we're still in Sha'ban. So may Allah bless you and your families and help you to grow in this month of Sha'ban to prepare for Ramadan. So I have to begin and give a special thanks to our platinum sponsors, Alhamdulillah, Islamic Relief USA and Mercy Without Limits, two incredible organizations. The people there are doing incredible work. May Allah bless them and their families. You can visit Mercy Without Limits, mwlimits.org to donate. Again, they have campaigns for COVID-19, for the current crisis, to help families and communities in need. And similarly, Islamic Relief USA, irusa.org/mass. And you could text as well. You could text IRUSA to the number 50155. And of course, with that, I have to say that we can't go without and leaving out the content regarding today's particular event. So it's not something that is that we should be taking lightly. The Census 2020 day is today. This only happens every 10 years. I had a very eye-opening session on our podcast with Ismahan Abdullahi, who is the director of Mass Pace. Incredible information that she shared. There is an excellent campaign with Mass Pace right now, masspace.org, and you could see the /2020 census, as well as any information you need to look up. You can look up when you do searches for 2020 census. Their general website is pretty good for answering questions. But don't take this lightly. If you haven't done it yet, do it today, and you have time to follow up on it. In fact, it's a legal responsibility, which is a very interesting angle that I was unaware of. I don't remember, who did it 10 years ago, but there are critical aspects of this census that can be beneficial to our communities, minority communities, the communities that are impacted the most by what's happening today across the country. So let's make sure we're filling the census out. Get your neighbors, friends, families, everyone to follow up to fill this out. It's very simple, and you can capture the information. If you have access and you're online, you can do it online. There's other ways to complete it as well. So as I'm sharing these, I'm also in the background going to be inviting Sheikh Ahmed to join us again. He was just managing which of the platforms he can join us on. So I might have to just take a moment and give him a quick call as well. But while we're doing that, I will continue here. Abdullah, welcome. I love it. Why do we tell actors to take you to break a leg? Because every play has a cast. MashaAllah. that might be dad joke status, but I'm going to use that one for another day. So excellent. May Allah bless you. Thank you so much. Happy new month, Amir, to you as well. And what a year so far. You're right. So Jazakallah khair, everyone. Brother Rai, Dr. Rai, thank you for joining from Irving, Texas again. And everyone else who's here as well. Alhamdulillah, we have over 2,000 people registered to this program, as well as, several hundred to several thousand that are engaging with us every night. So we should be live on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know if anyone could give me a thumbs up or the link here if anyone wants to share that as well. If you want to share this screencast itself, this live cast, there is a share button just at the top of your screen. If you hit share there's a number of options to share it. I've also been trying to get people to create clips. There's a really cool feature here, which is on the bottom left of your screen underneath this window, which says clip moment. So if you like something from the recitation, if you like something that the speaker is mentioning, you can click that button and it gives you a 15-second window to capture, and then it saves that for you, and then you can share it. So it could be something that you can invite others to use or just share as well. So I'm still continuing to get Sheikh Ahmed here, but we'll be able to just start in a few minutes. Okay. Sheikh Ahmed, Jazakallah khair again. I know you're working hard on your side to get this set up. You might be able to hear us, and we will definitely be have you on in just a few minutes. The other highlight that I want to share, this announcement is very important. There is the Mass Mercy Clinic has a free hotline for COVID-19 information. It's free consultations. You can reach out. There are doctors here to answer questions about coronavirus. That number is 1-855-91-MERCY. So 1-855-91-MERCY. And these are not advertisements. These are just things that we should, as people who are benefiting from this program, who are spending time at this program, be aware of so that we can share it with others. Maybe you might not need to call this number, but there might be someone else that you know or someone in your community that could benefit from this. So we'll post these links and these references to these items so you can follow up. And with that, I'll make sure here if I can double check. So I will actually leave this slide up here. Actually, maybe I can do something interesting here. Instead of Maryam, maybe I'll just pull you in for a minute. Do you recall any, I don't know if Amir created this for you or you have posts here. Have you used Qur'an Reflect before?
I'm just coming to learn about it. MashaAllah, it's an incredible resource.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So I'm gonna let you maybe share some of your thoughts. Just, this is off topic. This is not the subject itself, but you might have some thoughts about, now just being someone who heard about Qur'an Reflect. The audience here for the last couple of weeks has been hearing about it, and of course, mashallah, Amir Abbas is telling everyone about it all the time. We love hearing from him. So from what you know about it, why don't you take a minute and tell us something that it could be that you might see benefit in from it, or that others might potentially have benefit, and just from the concept of Quranic reflections. And I'm gonna call Sheikh Ahmed here just to get things set up. Okay? Do you mind doing that?
Oh, of course, no. Bismillah.
All right, Bismillah. So let me do this.
Allah bless him. He contacted me recently and was telling me about this really amazing idea that has already been on for some time. It seems like it's basically Quranic social media. And so he was super amazing, mashallah, to help me learn about it. And I created an account, and now there's posts about Qur'an from what I've reflected on in the past, and what people way more amazing and awesome than I could ever be have reflections on there as well. One of the things that I think is really cool about this concept is that a lot of times we're just kind of like scrolling through our phones, looking for something to do. And we don't even realize that we might be like switching between Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and whatever other social media apps people are on. But this is really an opportunity to just, if you're looking for that space of community with Qur'an, then inshallah you'd be able to just click on this, and you have all these reflections on verses and how they relate to people's personal lives and thoughts about what's going on in real time, and how the verses kind of really impact your life. And what's really cool about that is that, the companions of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, subhanAllah, they had the Qur'an revealed to them in the moment. And so when the verses are coming down to them, they know, what this verse is talking about. They're not just hearing the verses, they're seeing it, they're living it, they're experiencing what it really means. And so to have that opportunity, I think, from people who are going through current day situations, to reflect on Qur'an is really beautiful.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. That was perfect, and the timing was excellent, and that was incredible. So we'll charge Amir Abbas for that amazing plug about Qur'an Reflect. Jazakallah khair for that. So inshallah, I will hand it off to Sheikh Ahmed, who will begin the evening as we normally do with ayat of Qur'an, and then inshallah we'll come back to Ustad Maryam for the actual main session here, although you guys got a bonus session from tonight as well. So Jazakallah khair, Sheikh Ahmed, the floor is yours.
I have both now.
I think you might have it open in a second. Okay, Bismillah.
Is that okay now? Is the voice good?
Yes, Bismillah. Thank you.
Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
$40 للبرميل، لذا فإن الوضع
بسم
يشكل كذلك
الله
اختبارا صعبا بالنسبة
الرحيم.
نعود إلى ملف فيروس كورونا، فقد سجلت وزارة الصحة السعودية 6 وفيات جديدة بالفيروس.
وذر الذين اتخذوا دينهم لعبا ولهوا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا وذكر به أن تبسل نفس بما كسبت ليس لها من دون الله ولي ولا شفيع ليس لها من دون الله ولي ولا شفيع وإن تعدل كل عدل لا يؤخذ منها أولئك الذين أبسلوا بما كسبوا لهم شراب من حميم وعذاب أليم بما كانوا يكفرون قل ندعو من دون الله ما لا ينفعنا ولا يضرنا ونرد على أعقابنا قل ندعو من دون الله ما لا ينفعنا ولا يضرنا ونرد على أعقابنا بعد إذ هدانا الله كالذي استهوته الشياطين في الأرض حيران كالذي استهوته الشياطين في الأرض حيران له أصحاب يدعونه إلى الهدى ائتنا قل إن هدى الله هو الهدى قل إن هدى الله هو الهدى وأمرنا لنسلم لرب العالمين قل إن هدى الله هو الهدى وأمرنا لنسلم لرب العالمين وأمرنا لنسلم لرب العالمين وأن أقيموا الصلاة واتقوه وأن أقيموا الصلاة واتقوه وهو الذي إليه تحشرون وأن أقيموا الصلاة واتقوه وهو الذي إليه تحشرون وهو الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بالحق ويوم يقول كن فيكون وهو الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بالحق ويوم يقول كن فيكون قوله الحق وله الملك قوله الحق قوله الحق وله الملك يوم ينفخ في الصور قوله الحق وله الملك يوم ينفخ في الصور عالم الغيب والشهادة عالم الغيب والشهادة وهو الحكيم الخبير. صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallahu khairan again. May Allah bless you, Sheikh Ahmed. MashaAllah, not to praise you in front of your face, but you have a unique way of the recitation that you're capturing the meaning as well in a very beautiful way. So may Allah bless you. I will, inshallah, invite you to wait with us, and we will have Sister Ustada Maryam back with us, and then inshallah we'll bring you back for the closing dua. So I'll have you just here in a moment. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So just as I transition to the conversation with Sister Maryam, actually, I'll bring you back up in just a moment, Sister Maryam, or Ustada Maryam, forgive me. And let's see here. I did want to highlight, as we were sort of wrapping this section up, there's an opportunity for you here to take a moment and consider, these ayat in particular. Each night we choose a set of ayat that will resonate with you and with the subject matter. Our program, the Mass Daily Focus program, has had a theme of rise to worship and rise to action. And we've talked on a number of different other subjects around this. So you can go on Qur'an Reflect, look up different reflections from the different community leaders, spiritual leaders. You can look up the hashtag coronavirus. There's some very interesting reflections there as well. But I opened an invitation to everyone who just listened to these ayat. If you were moved by that recitation and you were following the translation, take a moment and ask yourself some of these questions. What is Allah telling us to remind them of, right? The beginning of the ayat says, remind them by this. And the translation refers to it there. Who's the one that should be reminding? Is it for ourselves? Is it a commandment for us to invite others? This idea of Allah's guidance being the only guidance. You might have some reflections about that you want to share. You can keep them as personal reflections, or you can add them for others to read as well. I'd love to get, the hashtag maybe daily focus, hashtag mass daily focus or something. So each night we can get different reflections from, all of you across the country, and we'll be able to go back and hopefully read them in future sessions as well. So without further ado, we'll hand it over to Ustada Maryam Amir. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you for this opportunity to have you join us. And I turned your audio on here, and I will hand over the mic to you, inshallah. And then I encourage everyone to pay attention, take notes, take your question and answers. We will have there's an option here to ask questions. If you ask questions in the chat, that's fine as well. We'll capture all those and hopefully have some time to interact with her after this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Alhamdulillah, about 8 years ago, I had the blessing of going for Hajj. And in Arafah, of course, any of you who have been for Arafah, been to Hajj and been on Arafah, or those of you who have wanted to go, you know that it's a special day of dua and of forgiveness and of coming close to Allah. And we had our group, spiritual leaders were there. There were imams, and there were other people who had just been studying. And they kept giving this message over and over. They kept saying that today is Arafah. If you do not cry today, then your heart is as hard as a rock. If you do not cry today, then you have no heart. They kept giving us these messages that if we were not weeping and bawling in Arafah, then really our iman was in question. The softness of our heart was in question. The level of our faith was in question. And that may not necessarily have been exactly what they said, but that was a message that many of us took away, because later on, when we were back in our tents in Mina, there was a sister who was very close to me in our little sleeping bags, and she looked extremely sad. And I asked her what was wrong, because she had been so bubbly and so excited and so energetic before. And she said, I didn't cry on Arafah. I didn't shed a single tear. And I'm so scared of what that means about who I am. And so we talked about that. We talked about how the Prophet ﷺ tells us that Hajj is Arafah. He doesn't say Hajj is crying on Arafah. Of course, crying is a beautiful expression of love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and humility to Him. But sometimes those tears don't come because you are terrified or because you are being yelled at to cry. She went to the Kaaba later on, and she came back saying that when she was making tawaf, all of her tears started to pour, and she was overflowing with emotion. And the reason was because she started to focus on her relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a different way. Now her focus could be on gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what He's blessed her with, this opportunity and this honor of coming all the way to His home. She was able to feel this immense hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know from Ibn al-Qayyim that he says that the way that we look at our faith, the way that we look at our heart in belief, is that one side is this fear and the other side is this hope. But the head is this love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And right now we're hearing a lot of messages of punishment, of we all need to turn back to Allah. And of course 100% we need to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of course 100% this could be different things for different people for different reasons. But what was it that caused her to feel that immense ability to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It was this gratitude. Now, some of us might be so motivated by feeling any type of fear of consequences. And that's why the verses in the Qur'an that remind us of consequences are so important. And then some of us are so motivated by the idea of paradise and the idea of bliss and rewards. And inshallah, that for those of us who are motivated by that will be something that helps us do more. But there are some of us, and inshallah, we all pray that we can be of these people too, where yes, fear is something super scary, and yes, the reward is something that we all want, but we also just want to be loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we want to love Him. We want His reward. We want to be away from anything that He's displeased with, and we are asking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from any type of evil in this life and the next. But also this overwhelming sense of gratitude for choosing us to be His worshipers. That is what sometimes helps a person's heart feel like they can overflow with emotion when they just need to let it out. And so today, inshallah, we're going to look at going to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a grin on your face when you are so scared. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't cry out of being overwhelmed, or that you shouldn't be sad or angry or confused or any of those other things. But what it means is that you put your trust in the one who says that He tells us in the Qur'an, قُلْ لَن يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا هُوَ مَوْلَانَا. هُوَ مَوْلَانَا. He is the one who knows what's going to happen, and the only reason He writes what's going to happen is because He knows what's best for us. So when we look at هُوَ مَوْلَانَا وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, how do we have that tawakkul? How do we go to Him in our dua with this grin? It's you're looking at these concepts of how it comes into our lives in our relationship with Him. The first one we just spoke about is the story of gratitude. But what's the next letter in the word in the acronym we're using grin? It's R. And that is looking at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as your refuge. So many of us know the story of Maryam alayhi salam. Of course I do, because my name is Maryam. But so that I clarify that for you in case any of you were wondering why I made that joke. It's April Fool's. I'm just going to keep going. Bismillah. When you look at the mother of Maryam alayhi salam, she wanted to have a baby. She wanted to have a baby, and when she was pregnant, she became so overjoyed by the fact that she was going to have a baby. And that joy was overshadowed by the loss of her husband, Imran alayhi salam. Imran alayhi salam passed away. And many of us have read these verses in the Qur'an, but we don't know everything that's going into the story of Maryam alayhi salam's mother. When she calls out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she calls out to Him and she says, إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لَكَ مَا فِي بَطْنِي مُحَرَّرًا فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. She calls out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and she says, oh Allah, she's telling Him that she's given what is in her womb to Allah, muharrara. Muharrara is, some of the mufassirun say it was free from the shackles of the dunya. But also in her time, muharrara meant that they were going to be servants of Baytul Maqdis. So she is calling out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying that she's giving her what's in her womb to him, to serve him. Now, many of us read those verses, but what's really happening in the background, what has led her to make that dua? The Mufassirun explain, Ibn Ashur, for example, explains that she's lost her husband. She doesn't know what she's going to do now as a single mother. And so she calls out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that she dedicates this baby in service to him. And then what happens? She has a girl. فَلَمَّا وَضَعَتْهَا قَالَتْ رَبِّ إِنِّي وَضَعْتُهَا أُنْثَى وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَا وَضَعَتْ وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى وَإِنِّي سَمَّيْتُهَا مَرْيَمَ وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا بِكَ وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. So she gives birth to a girl, and she's shocked. How many of us have made dua so many times? And then we see the exact opposite of her dua come true. She's already in really difficult circumstances, but on top of that, she's shocked that she has a girl. Why is this such a big deal? It's not because girls are not incredible. It's because at that time, only men served in Baitul Maqdis. And so now here she is with a baby girl, and she doesn't know what she's going to do. She's made this promise that to Allah, her baby is going to worship and to serve him. So she says she has a girl. She knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is well aware of that. And Al-Razi says that when she says, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى, the boy is not like the girl. She says the boy, as in the boy that she had wanted, is not like the girl that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifted her with. Because she knows that Allah knows that what Allah places in her life is better than anything she could have hoped for or imagined, even if that's not the way she thought would be best for her. And then what does she say? وَإِنِّي سَمَّيْتُهَا مَرْيَمَ وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا بِكَ وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. She keeps saying inni, inni, inni. Why does she say inni so many times? Ibn Ashur mentions that she is struggling with the decree of Allah. She knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a plan, but she's struggling with herself. Some of the Mufassirun explain that she disliked what happened because she didn't know. And of course, that doesn't mean she disliked the fact that she's a mother of a beautiful baby girl. But she didn't know what to expect, how to feel, what to do. And so she's struggling internally. Inni, inni, inni. She's just speaking to herself. Inni means like, indeed I am, indeed I am. Wa inni, wa inni, wa inni. She's just talking through it with herself. Sometimes you're going through those emotional moments where you just need to process it with yourself. But what does she do at the end? She makes dua for her baby. And the fact that she made dua for her baby shows how much she loved her baby, but also showed that she has rida, she has contentment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed. So she sought Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a refuge. Because when she lost her husband, innaka anta as-sami'ul alim, she's there giving this baby as a service to Allah, saying, innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. You are the one who is constantly, you hear you hear me, you are the all-hearing, you are the all-knowing of my circumstances. Why did she use those two particular names? Because the Quranic commentators mention that the one who sees what you're going through, the one who hears what you're going through, the one who knows everything of what you're going through is going to be the one who will answer you with the best for you. And right now we can say that the mother of Maryam alayhi salam, her sacrifice, subhanallah, at that time, what could she have thought was going to come from this beautiful baby girl? What actually came from her? Now, I mean, we can't even count however many billions of people throughout the time of history have prayed for Maryam alayhi salam and Isa alayhi salam and the mother of Maryam alayhi salam and their entire family. In the Qur'an, their story is preserved. Women go to Masjid al-Aqsa now, and Maryam alayhi salam was the first woman to worship there. Over and over and over, we see all of the benefits and the blessings long-term in this legacy that the mother of Maryam alayhi salam left. But in that moment, she was confused. And in that moment, she might have felt broken. She was experiencing confusion and heartache and loss. But what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless her with? He blessed her with something that transcended her time on earth. And when we look at what she did, she took Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a refuge. She called out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, recognizing in gratitude for this girl that she's been given. confused at what it means, but knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to deem, the best for her. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our refuge. With gratitude and refuge, and He knows us so intimately. He knows what every single one of us are going through in such an intimate way. And when we look at the mother of Musa, alayhi salam, she made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She is, the Qur'an doesn't record this as a dua, but it's revealed to her to put her baby in the river. Now we're talking about putting your infant in a river to save him from people who are going to massacre him, who have massacred babies. Where does that box end up? At the very doorstep of the person who's trying to kill her baby boy. Now from the outside, all of us might see that and say, well, that's literally the exact opposite of the dua coming true. Isn't that the exact opposite of what she would hope and pray for? To protect her baby from these people, except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delivered this baby to the doorstep of the very person who wants to murder him. But look at the bigger picture. Musa alayhi salam's role in being raised in the household of Fir'aun. Musa alayhi salam being returned to his mother in complete safety and with provision. From having state security to the state giving her a salary. She didn't have to worry about her baby. She was constantly with her baby without needing to hide him anymore. And so when we look at long term, what he did for Misr, the way that he helped a people come out of slavery, Musa alayhi salam, the impact of his prophethood on humanity, that sacrifice in that moment was terrifying. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows our future. He knows us intimately and what we're going through. And subhanAllah, when I was in Hajj, again, that very same Hajj, there were two people in our group who were going through a lot of difficulties with other people in the group. They were constantly being judged and people were being very rude and making very rude comments. And I witnessed all of this. I was honestly taken aback by how people's character really comes out in the stresses of Hajj. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, forgive all of us and forgive everyone and help us to increase our characters and be the best of characters like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were really overwhelmed and they started to cry. And before that, we had talked about how they wanted to have Baskin-Robbins. And I'm not trying to promote a brand, but they specifically had been craving Baskin-Robbins ice cream. And my husband and I walked around through all of the areas of Mina looking for Baskin-Robbins. And if you've been for Hajj, it is a tent city. It is just tents everywhere. Where are you going to find ice cream in the middle of tents? There was absolutely no ice cream anywhere. And subhanAllah, what we should have done from the very moment we set out on our track was make dua. And so we make dua. And we go back to the area where our tent is. And right as we enter, we see someone eating Baskin-Robbins ice cream. And we've spent 45 minutes trying to find this ice cream. And we're like, Allahu Akbar, this person is eating Baskin-Robbins ice cream. Where did they get this from? So we ask, and apparently there was an area where the packages that were like the most elite packages of Hajj, they were serving them ice cream. So we go to that area, and I go into the tent where they had this like cafe set up for them. And I asked the server, can I purchase some ice cream from here? Because I'm not part of this package. And so, I know that's not part of what we're supposed to have, but can I purchase it? And you know what he asked me? He said, I'll let you buy some ice cream with cough drops. And that might be super funny or silly or understanding because your throat is parched in Hajj for so many of you. But if you know me really, really well, you know that one of my staples in life are cough drops. I have cough drops. I get Costco-sized bag cough drops. This is a really important part of my life. So of course I had cough drops. The only thing that this man asked me for was cough drops. Maybe he was praying for cough drops and I was praying for ice cream. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought these two merging people together to exchange what each other needed in this transaction. Subhanallah, the fact that he asked for cough drops for me was such an intimate sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala isn't just answering your dua. He's also very aware of every single step that you're taking. And he knows exactly what you're going through to get there. So I went back with the Baskin Robbins ice cream with my husband and we returned. And subhanAllah, when I gave the ice cream to the sisters, they were in shock. Where did you get this ice cream from? Subhanallah, sometimes you just need a reminder that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers your dua, answers the wishes of your heart, even when it's not specifically a dua, just because He loves you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you so much that He will facilitate subjugating the heavens and the earth to bring someone who is weeping to Him because they are so broken ice cream. And subhanAllah, we keep seeing that over and over in the stories of the righteous, that it didn't have to be someone who was so super knowledgeable or so super involved with da'wah or so super, just someone who comes back to Him. There's a story of a scholar who passed away and his son saw him in a dream. His name was Suleiman. Suleiman ibn Mansur saw his father in a dream. And in that dream, his father said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had forgiven him and had been blessing him with his place in paradise. And when he was asked what was that reason for which he was blessed, it was told to him that it was because a young person, or excuse me, not a young person, a man came into his lecture. And whatever were the words of that sheikh that he was saying in that lecture, it made that young man, or I keep saying young man, old man, middle-aged man, whatever age man, he was a person, an individual, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him, Allah yarhamhum jami'an. He started to cry. And it was the very first time that this person had cried out of khashya to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was the first time that this person had cried tears of humility to Allah. And because of that person's tears, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave every person in that gathering and forgave that sheikh as well. We don't know who is special to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That special person might be the mother who, whenever she makes sujood, she has 3 kids trying to climb her while another one is calling, "Mom!" Or it might be the dad who is so exhausted and he's so worried about finances and he takes care of his entire family. And now he's wondering how is he going to provide for everyone amidst everything that's going on, and he's trying his best to provide. Or it might be that woman who is working so hard right now, exposing herself to COVID as she's working as a nurse or a doctor or some type of care worker, or someone else who is working in the grocery store who is trying so hard to provide for people's needs. Maybe all of these people are more beloved or as beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as someone who sits and worships Him day and night because they have the resources and the privileges to do so. None of us know who is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you know what He promises us, no matter who we are? He promises that He will listen to us and that He will respond to us when we call to Him intimately. So when we have gratitude, when we take Him as a refuge, when we know that He knows us so intimately, what do we do then? What do we do with all of that? We never doubt that He's going to respond. When I was studying in Egypt, there was a halaqah that I was attending. And there was a sister in the halaqah with me. And it started to rain. It started to pour. And the Ustadha who was giving the dars that day, she just stopped talking. She just looked outside and she said, I want to take advantage of this moment. When it's raining, dua is being accepted. So she just turned towards the qibla and she started making dua. She just cut the dars up and she started to make dua. And she just kept praying and praying and praying, oh Allah, answer the needs of the hearts of every girl here. Every girl who was here, answer the needs of their hearts. And subhanallah, not a single dua that we made from the people that I know on that day didn't go unanswered. The du'as on that day were answered. And some of the du'as in my own life, I didn't see the response to that du'a on that day that I made until 8 years later. 8 years later. But subhanallah, sometimes the process of getting to the answer of your du'a, all of those doors have to close to force you onto this road in which your du'a will be answered in the best way, at the best time, in the best place. And we might not be able to see all of that right now. But we trust and we never ever doubt that the one who knows what we're going through knows how to answer us in the best way that is for us في الدنيا وفي الآخرة. And finally, there was a sheikh in Ramadan when I was living in Egypt. He would make a dua in witr and tarawih, and he would constantly say, "Oh Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala," he would call out, and I've never seen dua like this before. This is how I learned what dua looks like, from listening to his pleading. And of course, I'm so grateful and blessed that I saw, alhamdulillah, the immense dua of my parents. I had that extremely incredible role modeling from them. I've never seen it on a scale of so many people. He is leading thousands of people in dua, and he's calling out as if no one is listening except for him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he's saying, "Oh Allah, if you turn us away, who will answer us? If you turn us away, who will answer us? Don't turn us away, Ya Allah, don't turn us away as losers. Answer us, answer us, answer us." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, "Ud'uni astajib lakum." Make dua to me and I will respond to you. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, "Ud'u Allah," make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "wa antum muqinuna bil ijaba." And you know for sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to answer you. Never doubt. So when you go to make dua, remember, have gratitude for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with. Maybe that is the key to opening this heart that is looking for a way to connect. Psychologists say that if you spend just a few moments every night writing down 3 things to be grateful for from that day, after 21 days, your entire attitude will change from an attitude to gratitude, to become an attitude of gratitude. So just looking at those 3 things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with in that day, being grateful, knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our refuge, seeking his help and knowing that he knows you so intimately that he can answer even the wishes of your heart in the most sweet way because he loves you so much, and never having doubt that even if you don't understand why this is happening right now in your life, even on a greater scale, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will answer us. And we might not see that answer right now, but we might see it in a different way. Maybe he will prevent something from coming to us that might have harmed us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. Or maybe we'll see it in the hereafter, or maybe in a much better way. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always there for you, and he's listening to you, and he's answering you. So don't forget to grin, gratitude, refuge. Intimately, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows you, and never doubt, and make dua. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answer all of you your dua, and pray for me and my family as well, inshallah. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for your time.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Jazakallah khair. Ustadha Maryam, that was honestly
awkwardly here. Bismillah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah,
okay.
Allahu akbar.
Maybe
MashaAllah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina wa
can you hear me?
Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina wa habibina Muhammad.
Maybe
Allahumma
you can't
salli
hear
wa
me.
sallim
Can everyone
ala
else hear
nabiyyina
me?
wa habibina Muhammad. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina wa habibina Muhammad. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina wa habibina Muhammad.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I apologize. It seems maybe that she can't hear me. So Sister Maryam, Jazakallah khair. It was excellent. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we will continue on, inshallah. So may Allah bless you. We won't have time for Q&A, and we will continue with the program here. I will be in touch with Sister Maryam to let her know how amazing that was, and there's some great questions that I hope people can answer. But I'll hand it off, inshallah, back to Sheikh Ahmed. Inshallah, we can make that dua together in Arabic, and then we'll have some closing remarks and a dua in English before we close the program, inshallah. Sheikh Ahmed, the floor is yours for dua, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair, Ustad Maryam. May Allah bless you and may Allah reward you. MashaAllah, it was very good. Allah yajzikum al-khair wa barik fikum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام الأتمان الأكرمان على سيدنا محمد خاتم الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين وإمام الأولين والآخرين. اللهم إنا نسألك وأنت خير مسؤول، نسألك وأنت أكرم الأكرمين وأرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية ونسألك السلامة ونسألك الأمن ونسألك الأمانة ونسألك الصلاح ونسألك الهدى لنا ولأولادنا ولأحبابنا ولجميع المسلمين. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم ارحم أمواتنا واهد قلوبنا واغفر ذنوبنا ويسر أمورنا. اللهم الطف بنا وبأحبابنا وببلادنا فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم الطف ببلادك وبعبادك فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم إنا نسألك يا أكرم الأكرمين ويا أرحم الراحمين، اللهم يا لطيفا لما يشاء ألطف بنا فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم يا لطيفا لما يشاء ألطف بنا فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم يا لطيفا لما يشاء ألطف بنا وبعبادك وببلادك فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم إنا نسألك وأنت أكرم الأكرمين، اللهم وأنت أرحم الراحمين، اللهم وأنت أجود الأجودين، يا أكرم الأكرمين، يا أرحم الراحمين، يا أجود الأجودين. اللهم ارفع هذا البلاء وارفع هذا الوباء عن بلادك وعبادك. اللهم ارفع هذا البلاء وارفع هذا العذاب وارفع هذا الوباء عن بلادك وعبادك. اللهم إنا نسألك وأنت أكرم الأكرمين، وهذه ليلة مباركة، ليلة كريمة من ليالي شهر شعبان المبارك، وقد اقتربنا يا رب من شهر رمضان. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تجمعنا بأحبابنا وأن تجمعنا بإخواننا في مساجدنا في شهر رمضان القادم يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تأذن لهذه الغمة أن تذهب وأن تزول بدون رجعة يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تسلمنا وأن تسلم أحبابنا وأن تسلم بلادنا وأن تسلم كل الناس يا رب العالمين، وأن ترفع هذا البلاء عن كل الناس يا رب العالمين. اللهم طهر بذكرك ألسنتنا وطهر من الذنوب أبداننا. اللهم املأ بالهدى قلوبنا. اللهم اشرح بالإسلام صدورنا. اللهم أقر برضاك عيوننا. اللهم استخدم لدينك أرواحنا وأبداننا. اللهم استخدم لدينك أرواحنا وأبداننا. اللهم قومنا إذا اعوججنا وأعنا إذا استقمنا، وأعطنا يا رب رضا لا سخط بعده. اللهم أعطنا يا رب رضا لا سخط بعده، وأعطنا علما لا جهل بعده. اللهم أنت ربنا لا إله إلا أنت، خلقتنا ونحن عبيدك، ونحن على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعنا، نعوذ بك من شر ما صنعنا، نبوء لك بنعمتك علينا ونبوء بذنوبنا، فاغفر لنا فاغفر لنا فاغفر لنا، فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم سلم لنا قلوبنا، اللهم سلم لنا عقولنا، اللهم سلم لنا أبداننا، اللهم سلم لنا ديننا، اللهم سلم لنا دنيانا، اللهم سلم لنا معاشنا، اللهم سلم لنا أولادنا، اللهم سلم لنا أزواجنا، اللهم سلم لنا أحبابنا، اللهم سلم لنا بلادنا. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تؤمننا في أوطاننا يا أكرم الأكرمين، وسلم اللهم لنا آخرتنا. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تتوفنا وأنت راض عنا، أحينا اللهم على ما يرضيك وتوفنا اللهم على ما يرضيك. اللهم إنا نسألك وأنت أكرم الأكرمين وأنت أرحم الراحمين وأنت رب العالمين أن تبارك في هذا الجهد وأن تجعله خالصا لوجهك، وأن تبارك وتجزي القائمين عليه خير الجزاء. اللهم آمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Allahumma ameen. Jazakallah khair again, Sheikh Ahmed. It was honestly a pleasure again to have you with us tonight. I will, inshallah, kindly move you here, and I will continue with just a few more announcements with it for everyone. Jazakallah khair again, Sheikh Ahmed, and assalamu alaikum. So just as we close here, I want to share just a couple more thoughts as we're wrapping this up. Again, if you liked anything in this program, if it was of any benefit to you or the previous programs, we encourage you to take the opportunity to become a sustainer. There's a green button at the bottom of this screen. You can go to muslimamericансociety.org/donate. You can go back to the focus page if that's the page you've been comfortable with, and there's a donation option there as well. Really, we're calling everyone to be sustainers and supporters. This donation is not just like any other donation. We hope that you have that, take that time out from your schedule, from your busy lives, as well as from the capacity that you have. There's a lot of good causes to give to right now, and I invite you to give to all of them for as much as is possible. We hope that this is also a worthy cause for you and worth your time, and we invite you to share this with others as well. Share and provide others the links we have for YouTube and Facebook. It'll be live on both of those, and the replay will be available in whatever format you like to share it. Not because of this program or the name of this program, but because of the beautiful content that was shared by Ustadha Maryam Amir. That was an excellent session and very valuable. If you go back to it, young and old, everyone can benefit from that session. There's a lot of wisdom there, a lot of thoughts and perspectives there that you can grow, and you could connect with her on her social media accounts that we shared with as well. I want to thank everybody who has been on the MAS team across the country, who has been working on this program on a regular basis. May Allah bless your families. May Allah bless the work that you're doing, and everybody else that we've been partnering with, from the FYI to Yaqeen, and of course Qur'an Reflect, and others who have been contributing and constantly working to bring this benefit to the community. We have a continued week of programs coming your way. We have, inshallah, tomorrow night, a very special program. Like I said, the census is here. So don't forget, masspace.org/2020 census. Complete that census today. This is a once in a 10-year opportunity to fulfill a legal responsibility as well as a critical value that will be added to our communities. Not only will the census actually provide the right information for the government to take action regarding representation. Even if you think in a state like California that the government has, or the state government or the federal government has everything it needs. No, every community can benefit and have opportunities to grow through representation, or through the funding that's provided, or the redistricting. This is critical. It will take 10 years again before we can do this. Do not hesitate and do this with your families, with your communities. Invite everyone around you. Alhamdulillah, Brother Amir Suleiman's doing great. He will be here Saturday night. Like I said, tomorrow night's a PACE program. It's a very special program with amazing speakers. We'll be posting that on social media. And again, we have an amazing speaker, Ustadha Aisha Prime, on Friday, and of course the Saturday night program with Imam Omar. So may Allah bless every one of you. Thank you for joining us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring us among those who He honors and amongst those who He guides. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us for our shortcomings, have mercy on those around us and those in our communities, especially our brothers from New York, who we have heard many stories now of our brothers and sisters in New York and in many other communities that are experiencing this crisis and this virus at this moment. May Allah give them a complete healing and a recovery, and make it easy for their families who cannot be with them, everyone among them, amongst our communities, amongst our families and our neighbors, and to bring us closer to serve Him through this beautiful way that He has created for us, and to make us amongst those He chooses to have that gratitude, to seek that refuge, to have that intimate, relationship with Allah, as well as to never doubt that He will answer us. That green acronym is a beautiful one. I hope you can take it and share it with others. Jazakallahu khairan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.